is a danger to you. And me too. Tatted on my forehead. Go home. Go to bed. I dread. Something make you just like home. When the family unit is overrun. When the structure is undone. By some new concoction. Now I walk softly and carry a big stick.
Welcome to the Franchise Podcast. I'm Joe Arrigo. With me's my boy TQ.
Oh yeah, we different today, baby. We champions.
Yes, sir. Hey, this is gonna be a shorter show, just so you know, because we're about to go to the Aces Parade.
Say it again.
We're about to go to the World Champion Aces Parade.
Yeah.
And get wasted.
I love it. This is the day that the Lord has made.
For you to get
We are
wasted?
the champs, baby.
Oh, I thought you were talking about getting wasted.
Yeah, that too. Please believe it.
Hey, so let's talk about the Aces, man. Look, we made a guarantee.
I made a guarantee.
No.
Come on, man.
No. I didn't.
Come
What are
on,
you
man.
talking about?
Yo, we can go back to the tape.
Yeah, run it back.
We can go back to the
you
tape.
said, Joe, do it again. And I said, the Aces will, when time this airs, will have a 2-0 lead. Did they not?
I'm not talking about a
Okay,
2-0
but I am. Hey,
that's a long time ago. We're talking
but
about
you had
the
to get
word
to 2-0.
guarantee.
You had to get to the second
said
win before you get to the
specifically
third.
Just now, the word guarantee. You're trying to be sleazy about the situation.
Ain't being sleazy.
I guaranteed it, just like Charles Barkley. I said it in front of everybody.
Here he goes.
And here we are today. TQ Stradamus.
Can
Headed
you
out
dig
to the
it?
strip, baby. The girls done it.
Let me ask you a question, though. You got to get number 2 before you get to number 3?
Oh, man.
Yes or no? Simple question. Yes or no?
No, you don't.
You don't. You don't
No.
got to win the second game.
No.
You don't have to get before in the 3-game series. You don't have to have 2 wins to get to the third game.
No. Now.
That's a lie. That's why
Now
you
move
failed
on.
math.
All seriousness, I fell
real.
in love with this team. The end of last year during the playoffs, we had covered them before, but I could just see the makings of something. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that nucleus, especially between Asia and Kelsey Plum.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the beginning of something. And then when Coach Hammond came in, solidified it, man. Changed everything. Took them over the top.
What she did was she gave Chelsea Gray like free reign.
Right.
And then that allowed, and she gave, ironically, Jackie Young a lot of confidence. And something that I've never shared this. And I got some little inside information. I never even told you this.
Do you now?
So after she interviewed and Mark Davis wanted to hire her, she had Asia, Chelsea, Kelsey, and Jackie and De'Erica come down to San Antonio
Oh, yeah.
and work them out.
Really?
Interviewed them.
Before she took the job.
And then when she seen what that, she was like, I'm with it.
I mean, that says a lot, man. That says a lot. I mean, here's the thing. The woman came from NBA pedigree. She was an upgrade on what we had already. Like I've said before, the difference in watching up close and personal from the baseline, this system and that system from last year, it's night and day.
It's an NBA system
It's absolutely an
with NBA terminology, NBA plays, and an NBA coach coaching them.
Absolutely. And I feel like, you know, it debunks a lot of what's been said about the women's game as compared to the men's.
Elaborate, please.
It was beautiful. Beautiful to watch. Offensively, the ball keeps moving. The ball keeps swinging. Defensively, switch. Moving. Complete confusion. It reminds me of like the old Dick LeBeau Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
The Blitzburgh.
Where blitzes are coming from just all kinds of places and you just see quarterbacks confused. I saw a lot of confused teams. This team, the only time I saw this team lose is when they beat themselves this year.
I'll tell you, they went through a patch, and it started when they scored 38 in the first quarter. It was like 38-13 against the Sky.
Yeah.
And the Sky just chipped away.
Yeah.
Chipped away.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we walking out there with a 10-point loss.
You know, man, I got a theory. Well, I won't call it a theory.
Oh, here you go with TQ's theories.
Hypothesis. That's what
Lord.
it is. That's what it is. It's an educated guess. Because this seems to happen a lot in the city of Las Vegas. It happens to me when I'm on the blackjack table.
Oh, Lord, here he
You
goes.
get up early, something happens around the halfway point, and you come back and you get smashed. There is a theme that we'll get to later regarding this phenomenon in this city. And the Aces pulled off one of the most egregious ones this year against the Sky.
Okay, but the difference between the Aces and you is you said getting smashed. You're smashed by the time you're halfway done with blackjack.
Good point.
So you're
Good
you know.
point. Touche.
You know what? We talked about it last week with Chelsea Gray. I thought she should have been the Finals MVP. She was.
Yep.
And deservedly so.
Yep.
She, in my opinion, and this is no disrespect to any other point guard that played in the WNBA or is currently in the past. I know what Sue Bird's done is phenomenal. I'm going to take Chelsea Gray over all of them.
Too soon.
Here he goes.
Too soon. Too soon. You got some real goats that have played that position in that league.
Oh, I know.
And I don't think it's time. I think first of all, Chelsea Gray's got a lot more to do.
Oh, yeah. Couple more rings.
Yeah, in this league.
In this city.
By the time it's over, I think you may have a valid point. But White Mamba, Sue Bird, there's a lot of them out there, bro.
Well,
Some of the best of the best. She
Just
ranking
saying.
though. This playoff.
nobody
run for
got
her.
handles like her.
Yeah, this playoff.
No one
run
got
for
passes
her, man.
like her.
And not only that, I think the most important, like the thing that I love most about her is like she's the lightning rod.
She's the dog of the group.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, look, get on my back. I'm about to take over for a while. I used to watch that in the Staples Center.
In game
know what I'm saying?
game two, she went out with an ankle injury.
Yeah.
And she came down and scored a point. She scored a bucket.
Yeah.
And then there was a foul and she went right to the locker room. And a couple media people in front of me, Nick Hamilton being one of them from Nightcast Media, Niggler back was like, man, I think she's done. And I'm like, man, hold tight. And then all of a sudden, just like Wes Unseld back in 1970 something, she comes running out
Coming
through
back.
and it was like, didn't even come sit on the bench. She ran right by, tapped Becky, and was like, I'm going back in.
Yeah.
And came in, and then you didn't hear anything about the ankle the rest
That's
of the way.
that dog. That's the, hey, Nick, this man just messed up the company. Nightfall Media out of Los Angeles. Thanks a lot, Joe.
I forget it was Nightcast at one point. My bad.
All right, cool. All right, here we go.
Sorry,
Keep it
Nick.
moving.
That's my brother, too.
Got to get it right. You know what I'm saying?
But this is the first parade in Vegas now since, I want to say, I don't even know if they had one, the Tark team.
Really? I mean, I wasn't up here then. I know it's the first championship,
First
right?
from a
First
major
pro
from a major league, yes.
Okay, so who won?
There was
Lights
like
won or
there
the
were
Aviators?
no, there's
51s or
before
something?
there was some teams before that were like the professional lacrosse and something like that.
All right.
So we want to be and is this a parade or a rally?
I don't know, man. You know what? I didn't want to bring the elephant more into the room than he already is.
It's
but
got
it's
to be
kind of like,
addressed.
man, bro, like how long is this route? Is it like really from Caesars to Mandalay? Like, well, that's 3 skips.
No, it's Caesars to Bellagio.
I mean, Caesars to Bellagio. Sorry. I mean, that's next door.
Okay, but here's the deal. Now let's think of it from you're a marketing guy
Yeah,
and you're a visual guy.
for sure.
If it's the whole strip and they say there's 11,000 people, it's gonna look like nobody's there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But in a smaller area, it looks like it's gonna be the big turnip of the day.
yeah, I guess you're right. But I mean, yeah, good point.
Wow, good point.
Here's the thing, man. I got invested into this league. I got invested into women's basketball, invested into women's sports. I told y'all numerous times, a couple of times this season, that I did sound for a round table
Right.
for NBA TV.
For AU.
Yeah, for AU, man. And I really got a chance to just listen to the things that these women have to put up. I'm all about resiliency, man. I like stories of redemption, right? Place where I'm from, it's all about making it out. It's all about getting through the obstacles that are 100% going to come in front of you. And we've never really had the platform to be able to listen, to hear those stories. And I think if that part of what WNBA is, the stories that got those women into those positions that they're in, and what they're still dealing with now in the off season.
Yeah.
Brittany Griner being in Russia is the byproduct of not making enough money in the WNBA.
Real talk.
So she's got to go out of the country to survive. So, you know, it's all kinds of angles here, all kinds of beliefs regarding women's sports and the league itself. But those things need to be discussed. And I think it really brought me over to this side when I finally got a chance to hear that side of the struggle.
I started paying more attention to the WNBA in a conversation with Kobe. And it was last year, and before I moved out here in 2015. And he and I was, he's like talking about Gigi and how well she's doing. Yeah. And he's like, you ever watch them play? And I'm like, man, like, I just can't get into it. Yeah. There's not enough athleticism. It's stagnant. It's not my cup of tea. And he goes, just watch from a basketball standpoint.
Yeah, makes sense.
And he was just raving about it. And ironically, about a month before he passed, I was having a conversation and I had said that I thought Gigi was going to be the face of the WNBA. That was going to be, she was going to be the Michael Jordan, the Kobe Bryant, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the WNBA. If not the first female player to play in the NBA.
The first female player
I
to
thought
play.
that was that good. That was Kobe's goal and that was her goal.
Really?
100%.
I saw a couple of clips.
It was
a clip at one point where it's like she had his body with a little girl's head. Yeah. She's moved just like him, did everything just like him. But I never got a chance to see her play. I know the people who had raved about her said she was special.
But I will say this. Yes. I will say this though. Watching the Aces this past season, it was tough last year for me, honestly, when Liz Cambage was there because she just bogged down everything. It wasn't fun to watch.
Right.
But watching them this year, I became a fan. More by covering them and being at the games, and it became okay, there's something about this team, and you kind of felt it from the energy. Like I said it early on to you, I know it was a couple games and you thought I was crazy. And I said, Becky Hammon's the best coach in the league, like by far.
Yeah, I don't think I'd seen a game. I hadn't been to a game live at the time when you said that.
No, you were.
And normally you're always like giving a person a Hall of Fame jacket in the first 30 seconds of watching them do anything. Like that's just the way you do. You like pass out Hall of Fame jackets and accolades and cookies to people who don't deserve them. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true.
You're the person. You're the one guy that actually tried to tell me that Sterling Sharp was better than Jerry the Goat Rice.
For that 7-year span?
When somebody says
and I stand by
that ridiculous, they lose a lot of credibility. So a lot of times you got to have your fact book sitting right next to you when Joe says some of his malarkey, because
Joe's always right.
It just gets more and more ridiculous the older he gets.
No, but when you talk about me handing out gold jackets, I know that's tongue in cheek. But
it's not tongue in cheek.
No, what I've started to do
is hand out gold jackets.
What I started to do is recognize something early. Like, for instance, why is it that nowadays, when we talk about the greatest of all time, it has to be people that played in the past? Now, albeit, I think it's Jordan and Kareem and Kobe, but you can't recognize LeBron as being one of those guys.
Who can't?
People don't, because he's still playing.
No, people are ridiculous. The man's been playing for 20 seasons. And he just had his best 2 seasons back to back.
No,
like, come on, man. What are we talking about?
But people don't do that.
People are just haters.
Okay, and that's what I'm not.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about that. You bring in LeBron and LeBron's. That's undeniable. Anybody that has anything to say about the worth of LeBron James and his place on the Mount Rushmore or whatever you want to call it, they're an idiot.
LeBron's top 5 all time.
Period.
Top 4 all time.
Period.
And I think
it is not even a discussion.
And I think and I'm at an age now where when it comes to talking about GOAT status, and I don't think each age group has their own guy. We were able to see the tail end of Kareem's career.
But this argument is dead. You know why? Simple English. Greatest of all time. Not greatest of all the time you've been on earth, sir, or you've been on earth, sir.
All I'm saying,
greatest of all time. Simple.
It's subjective, is all I'm saying.
How is it subjective? How?
Because you ask your dad will probably say Kareem.
Was my dad a part of all time? Yes.
Your dad, but
I was a part of all time.
And
you was a part of all time. Everybody with an opinion was a part of all time.
And they're gonna
think can't split it all up.
And they're gonna think the guy of their generation is all time.
That's on them. The whole point is generation versus generation. The bottom line is facts and stats. Facts and stats tell you that the top 3 players of all time were Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. Period.
Not Kobe Bryant.
Those are the best 3 players that have touched this earth. Kobe got hurt significantly, and those other ones didn't. And LeBron, for God's sakes, is still playing and can still contend for a championship just by that alone.
To all Kobe fans, those are the thoughts of TQ. They did not express those of all the franchise sports media.
Hey, it's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? Kobe's my favorite athlete, any sport of all time. I cannot give him GOAT status over LeBron James anymore. That's changed in probably the last 3 or 4 years because of the fact that LeBron is still playing at a high level. He is still playing. So at the end of the day, when LeBron stops, then we have to go back and we have to figure it out. We have to look at Bron versus Jordan versus Kareem versus the other GOATs. Okay, I believe that he surpassed Kobe strictly on the fact that he's still playing.
When you talk about that, I mean, and it's just I want to put a cap on this, but I really don't know. When you talk about GOAT status, do you consider what they do in championship games and series as part of that subject?
Yeah, I mean, they gotta have the rings. Yeah, you got to get the rings. Nobody got a ring by themselves. Every last one of these players we talking about got rings with all-star caliber super teams.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All of them.
Okay.
Magic, Bird, Kobe, Kareem.
So you don't think LeBron, how many losses he's had in the finals doesn't knock him down versus how many losses Kobe's had? And Kobe had what, 2?
Yeah, but the difference is LeBron is still playing, Verb. He's still playing. We talking about LeBron, and he's going to suit up in a couple of weeks.
And we talking about a team that, like, I mean, we're Laker fans.
100%. But what I'm saying is the man is still one of the top players in the league right now. Teams still have to. He's not riding the bench. He's not some legacy locker room guy.
I agree. No, I'm not disparaging
none
LeBron.
of these dudes that we're talking about this late in their career were the best player on their team. None of them. When Jordan got to this point, he was a wizard. When Kobe got to this point, he didn't have an ankle anymore.
He still was the best player in the Lakers, though.
I'm saying Kareem was like an old man
number 3
by the
option.
time he got here.
Yeah.
So Bron is still the best player on his team. The whole city is still believing that this man can bring them a championship. And they believe it for a reason, because he's one of the best we have ever seen.
No doubt about it. I'm not disputing that at all. That's never was just, it was an example.
Let's say this. It's quite possible that LeBron could win another championship before his career is over.
I agree.
All right.
I agree with that.
That says a lot to me.
Man, I was out of town this weekend. I had a wedding to go to.
Be glad.
I was at a wedding, and I was going back, driving back to where I was going to be to fly back the following day, and I was watching the Raider game on my phone.
I'm getting a headache.
And I'm watching them. They're up there, 23 first half points. I'm like, oh, shit. All right, they're cooking. Devontae ain't even involved yet. They got Tay involved. He got the 1 touchdown and 1 other catch. That's it. Okay. I pull up, go inside the house, put the game on, and it's an overtime. About to go in overtime. There's like 7 seconds left.
So I got to relive this whole thing now.
Kyler Murray ran 85 yards on one play. Up, down, left, right, sideline to sideline. Max Crosby, the best defensive player on the Raiders, had him wrapped up, and somehow, like Allen Iverson stepping over Tyronn Lue, crossed him up, spun out of it, and ran into the end zone. And then did the same thing for the 2-point conversion. And then ended up winning the game.
Where do we start with this fiasco?
I have a big discrepancy.
What?
Devontae Adams had 2 catches for 13 yards and a touchdown.
Yes.
You're the best receiver in the game. He needs the ball. And I'm tired already of the disparaging remarks that get made because he doesn't get the ball. You feed him the ball, and it goes to one person.
Yo, man. The first week, that was the problem, right?
Was it?
Yes. That was the problem the first week.
Okay. That he had gotten the ball too much.
Once again, what nobody seems to care about. Everybody wants to talk about Devontae Adams and Derek Carr and all of this and all of that. All right. That's all cool. That's all fine and dandy. But Devontae Adams wasn't brought here to have 140 yards every week. He doesn't have to have that. He had to have that, them kind of games when he was in Green Bay.
No, he didn't.
He don't have to have that here. He's got a supporting cast on offense, skill player wise, one of the best on paper in the whole league. He don't have to come here and do everything.
I agree with that.
There are going to be weeks where he's going to get 2-3 catches and we should still win the game. Why? Because he's being shielded. He's being doubled. He's got another man spying on him because they all know that strictly off of his route running ability, he could get loose. Sometimes he's not going to be able to get loose because there's too many people watching him. None of this means anything. It's been the same thing for years. Years and years and years and years. Where is Chandler Jones? That's the question. We went out and got another edge rusher to shore up the other side of Max Crosby. It should be the opposite effect of the Devontae Adams situation.
Well, that was my point number 2.
Where is Chandler Jones? Can anybody find him for me? I need double nickels. I need the double nickels from last year and the year before that.
I think he's running trying to catch Kyler Murray. Well, my point about Devontae Adams was, yes, 2 catches, but in crunch time, he makes plays.
Hey, man, Derek Carr threw the ball to Hunter Renfrow at the end of the game when he should have been throwing the ball to anybody. That's the bottom line. It's just not, I hear what you're saying, but it's just not about that. The team was up. They had a donut in halftime and ended up losing the game. Obviously, something was going right. So what went wrong? Arizona started scoring points, and the Raiders couldn't stop them.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's a bigger problem that this team doesn't know how to close people out? And if so, it's the same cast that's been here other than Devontae Adams, so they should know how to close people out. Or has that been a problem in the past and has not gotten better?
The problem is what I just said it is.
Oh, no.
The problem is not on that side of the ball. There were 2 bad fumbles at the end of this game and bad play calls because we should have kicked the field goal, got the best field goal kicker in the league. Should have kicked the field goal and ended the game, period. I don't remember Josh Jacobs or any running back in the backfield for the whole overtime. I don't remember one. I think it was all empty. I don't understand that.
No, I agree with that. I
makes
do
no
agree
sense.
with that.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. Once again, though, and this is the Raiders' problem. We worried about the offense. We don't have an offensive problem. We had two fluke fumbles at the end of the game. The problem is the Cardinals started scoring in the second half, and we couldn't stop them. Now, I'll say this. If you're missing Denzel Perriman and Trayvon Merrick, you down big time on your defense. Neither one of them played.
And there was another scratch as well. I forget who it was off the top of my head.
It was the center.
Yeah.
He didn't play either.
Alex.
James.
Yeah, Alex James.
He didn't play either. But on defense, especially in the middle, and I've been speaking about those two units and the connection between Perryman, Diablo, Merrick, and Abrams. I've been talking about that.
And Abrams played a good game.
Yes, he did.
He's played a good couple games.
That unit, I felt through training camp, was the most improved to me.
100%.
So I will say that's my saving grace for this game, that two very key pieces of the best part of our defense, or the best part of the defense right now, were missing. That's still not an excuse.
Okay,
so you got to be able to stop them people from doing something.
Let me ask you this, and I'm asking this as someone that I don't know, because maybe I'm being too harsh, and I've been spoiled with quarterback play with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I've been spoiled. I admit it, as a teenager to an adult.
For sure.
20, almost 30, over 30 years now. When do you start pointing the finger at the quarterback?
Can the quarterback tackle Kyler Murray? That is my question. We always got to go back to the offense. Offense has not been the problem for the Raiders.
The reason why I ask you this is this somebody who, through his brother or his brother on his own, said he's a top 5 quarterback. He wanted to get paid like a top 5 quarterback. He is getting paid like a top 5 quarterback with over $40 million this season. If that's Aaron Rodgers, if that's Tom Brady, if that's any of the guys in the top 5, you could throw Deshaun Watson when he's playing, Mahomes, any of them. Tom Brady can throw a Microsoft whatever tablet. It's Tom Brady being competitive. Aaron Rodgers does it. It's all hell breaks loose. But if he doesn't perform, then it's all on him. So the question is, when do you start looking at the quarterback play and say it's not good enough? It's a serious question. The quarterback
play was good enough to win the game.
You think so?
Just
for real?
like it's always been. It wasn't good enough to win the game last week in LA. It was putrid last week in LA. All right. You can have a bad game. I understand that.
Okay.
But the quarterback played a good enough game to win this game this week. And 9 times out of 10, our quarterback plays well enough for us to win. Why does the team lose consistently? They can't stop people from scoring. They don't get to the quarterback enough. Chandler Jones.
Well, they got to him. They just couldn't finish.
Okay, that means you ain't get to him. Put him on his ass.
That means you got to work on tackling drills.
What's the line Al Davis said? Something I'm paraphrasing. Something to be quarterback.
The first 10 plays, hard. You got to put him on his ass hard.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I don't disagree.
This doesn't happen enough. Go back years. Go back generations. That hasn't happened consistently since he said it. It wasn't happening consistently in 2002. The offense was just so awesome with the minds that was assembled on that side of the ball that they just could play with everybody. We don't have that these days. We don't have those kinds of football players. It's not about all of that. You got a couple of them sprinkled across the league, but this game is about athleticism. Who's the fastest? Who could jump the highest? Who could sell the tickets? There is no Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, Rich Gannon connection going on nowhere right now. But it's not happening. But they don't even do it like that no more.
But I thought the college connection between Carr and Adams was going to be that and then some. That's what we were told. That's what was
Adams
told to
went
us.
for 100. Adams caught for 140 something yards last week.
I'm talking about against the Cardinals. We're not talking about against the Chargers.
Once again, he is not in Green Bay. You're a Green Bay fan, so you living in Green Bay land.
No, I'm not. I'm living at the best receiver in the game, not getting the ball enough.
The best receiver in the game just got a huge significant upgrade in the other skill positions other than quarterback at the team that he went to.
And offensive line.
Absolutely not. The running back room.
You think the Raiders running back room?
The Raiders running back room is equal, at least, to the Packers running back room. And not only that, this is the part that you don't want to admit. The Packers play nobody.
That's not the point.
The Packers play nobody twice every single season.
That's
the Raiders are. Devontae is going to see what you call competition for the rest of his career here in Las Vegas. The type of competition that he has never had to see anywhere else. The AFC West is a totally different dog than the NFC North. The NFC North is trash. That's why Green Bay is always in the playoffs. Green Bay is going to be in the playoffs this year because the division is trash. Things got to change. You're not going to come out here and be that all-world receiver with those all-world numbers because you're going to be doubled. You're going to be doubled by a first, second, and third guy who's 9 times out of 10 better than any of the ones you saw last year in that division. And you're going to see these guys twice. You're going to see these quarterbacks twice, meaning everybody ain't going to let you score. You're just not going to score out here. Aaron Rodgers is not going to come to a team in the AFC West and be as successful as he's been over his career in Green Bay, even if he had Devontae Adams the whole while. Under no circumstances. Why? Because he's going to lose to Pat Mahomes at some point. He's going to lose to Justin Herbert at some point. And he's even going to lose to Derek Carr at some point. He ain't losing to none of them people up top. Not a one. Who? Justin Fields? Who? Jared Goff?
I'm not. Look at
Kurt Uncle?
I'm Kurt Uncle.
Bruh, come on, man.
But no,
get out of here,
missing.
bro.
Look at.
I'm not missing the point. You're missing the point.
The point is, the offensive line and the running backs for Green Bay are better than the Raiders. Quarterback play is better than the Raiders. Now
the offensive line, and the quarterback is better than the Raiders.
Yes,
absolutely. I give you that.
And the running backs. Now where Devontae, his receiver room is better with the Raiders and the tight end room.
Meaning what? He's going to get what? Less targets because there are more balls. There are more people to go around. I'm not disputing the less
targets, but when it is crunch time, your best players need the ball.
When it was crunch time, he was on the sideline. Crunch time was tackling Kyler Murray's ass.
When you have the ball and you need a score and you need to go down and you have the ball in overtime,
only score you needed was your Pro Bowl kicker. All you needed was your Pro Bowl kicker.
And you still got to get down there.
They were down there. They were within the man's range. Stop with all the toying around. Run the ball. Devontae Adams' day is over. He should not be on the field anymore. There's no need. Run the rock. You're already in field goal range. Stop throwing the ball. But this is the type of philosophy why Green Bay, this great team that this guy swears by, how many championships we seen Aaron Rodgers win? We seen him win one. Why? Because of this philosophy. You don't play defense. You don't care about defense. The only way we could have won that game is to play defense. The game was won. Tackle, rush the quarterback, beat blocks. That's not a good offensive line. Was that a good offensive line? Do you think that the Arizona Cardinals have a good offensive line? Would you expect
they're solid?
For the
they're not
Condor
great, but they're solid.
And double nickel to not be able to get to the quarterback?
Max Crosby had his way all game.
What happened?
Can't finish.
That's not an offensive issue. That's a defensive issue. The Raiders' problems for the last however many years have not been offensive.
Let me ask you a question.
They've been defensive.
How was your weekend? How was your weekend?
It was cool because the Aces won the championship. But they won the championship right before the Raiders pull off this bullshit.
So they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Is that what you're saying?
They put me into the bottom of another silver and black margarita, and that's where I went back.
Well, that didn't take much.
That's where things.
They could have won, and you could have done that too.
I already had enough, man. I was trying to get myself right before the third quarter. I said I'm gonna go ahead and get wasted early, and I went on and did that. And then when the Raiders start acting up like this, I went and got another one. And that last one was a doozy. I shouldn't have did that.
They make it the special way to give it with love.
Oh man, you want to get yours before like that third quarter starts to wind down because all the bartenders, they get real generous. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm
And
not.
they trying to empty all the good stuff into the bottom of the cup. And it's just rough, man. It was rough on me. It was rough on me after the game. It was the stupid Arizona fans was out there singing a little dumb song or whatever it was. I didn't even know they had a song.
They have a song.
I don't know, man. They were singing some stupid.
Lame. I had a great weekend. Aces won.
Hmm.
USC won.
They're gonna do a
The
lot of that.
Packers won. And UNLV won.
UNLV did win.
I had a
That
great
we can
weekend.
agree on. That was wonderful, man. That was wonderful. I loved every minute of that.
Just so you guys see the new shirt. FUNR.
Yeah, about to be available soon on the website.
Yes, sir. A word today. A word to the complex today.
You got the spirit?
Oh, man. Everybody. Head coach and all loved it.
Feeling some kind of way?
Oh, you should have seen Coach File.
Oh, boy.
Matt came down. He was
Yeah,
like,
fit.
yeah, oh, where's mine? The angry gremlin was happy. Hey, man, that UNLV game, though.
Yeah.
Now, I obviously wasn't there,
Right.
and I'm at the service, and I'm watching it on my phone
Yeah.
with my headphones in.
Yeah.
And I'm loving every minute of it. In fact, to the point to where when Doug scorpioned into the end zone in the third quarter, great pitcher, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
It's a
sir.
great pitcher.
Thank you very much.
He thought so too.
Yeah. You told me.
I said, "Oh, it's one of them days." I was, but I did.
That scared the hell out of me, bro. I can't even lie to you.
Well, he goes, "Joe, I sat down on the ground for a minute, and my head came out of my helmet a little bit. That kind of helped me." He goes, "But I just waited and felt myself." I was like, "Oh," and I kind of had a little like. My neck was kind of had a little twinge in it, and from the Idaho State game, was still sore.
Yeah.
That cleared it up.
Oh, snapped him back right?
Yeah. But he said he was fine. But I got a tap on my leg with a pinch at one point.
Saying what?
Well, the thing was, Aiden Robbins, friend of the show, was wide open and dropped the ball when he had 65 yards
He
to
sure was, man. Oh.
And I gave him some hell about that.
Oh, my goodness.
But they beat a North Texas team 58-27
Yeah.
that went to a bowl last year.
Did they?
They were 6-6 and played in a bowl.
I didn't know that.
They returned most of their team back. And, you know, I had some time to kill when I was waiting on the Raiders article to edit.
Yeah.
So I put on some North Texas podcast after the game.
Spying on the enemy.
I just
They
wanted
was
to.
salty.
Oh, one dude sounded like he was gonna cry.
Oh, come on.
One dude was like, "This is the nail in the coffin for Luttrell, their head coach. They don't think they're gonna win 3 games, and he's gonna get fired."
Really?
He's the longest tenured coach in Texas college sports.
Really?
Yeah, he's been there
I knew
7
nothing
years.
about these people. I know they stayed in my damn way on the sideline. You know, I like to go to the visitor side to shoot because, you know, you can get the sideline, the UNLV sideline behind the players, the home side.
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, it looks good, and you just kind of goes with the vibe. But like these people, these mean greens, right? You know, there's a line that is for photographers.
Yeah,
The dotted line, for if you don't know, the yellow one, the white one that goes down the sidelines of the football field, that's for us. It's our line.
right.
But you got all of these people, right? These Texans, right? These mean greens standing in the way. At first I was being nice. I'm like, excuse me, please. Just give me back a little bit for me. I'm trying to do my job. I'm trying to shoot your glorious football team here today. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for your cooperation, right? It's very nice.
Unlike
Go down
you.
to the other side, come back, they in my way again. I say, hey, this yellow line is for photographers. They look at me as if now they starting to get their ass whooped. They're getting a little salty. Like UNLV is starting to run up the score. So
Nice.
I'm only going to stay over there for a little while longer anyway. I want to join the party. You know what I'm saying? But so now I got to snitch. Got to go and I got to go get the security guard come enforce it. Walk over with him. He asked, hey, y'all got to move back. This is for the photographers. They all look at me as if to say, snitch. I loved it. I plopped right down in front of them, and I started rooting for UNLV as I'm shooting. I say stuff just loud enough to where they can hear me as I'm walking by, and they hate it. Oh my God, they hate it. I don't start this until I'm about to leave, right? So I'm like cool the whole while.
Oh,
but when I'm about to leave that side and go to the home side, I say some snob shit, guaranteed, every time.
Well, you got on TV. I seen you on TV.
Did you?
Ricky White scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
And all I see is big squeezer McSqueeze go.
Yeah.
And then my phone blows up. So I'm sitting there and I hear bzz, 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 and I'm like, what the hell? And it's like, hey, we see TQ on TV. Hey, TQ's at the game. TQ just patted Ricky. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've been getting my TV time in the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying?
You and Trish.
Yeah, they sent me some shots from the Charger game. Got some shots from UNLV game, the Aces game. Yeah, it's been going down. Me and the old camera on the side.
You know how they got the Mean Green nickname?
No. What's that?
Mean Joe Green went there.
What?
And it's the North Texas Mean Green because the head coach's wife at the time said, that's Mean Joe Green. She's called him the Mean Green. And that's how the name.
Are you serious, bro? You're lying.
Tony Cardasco said that on the Hey Red Pod, which you can get on Franchise Sports Media, Buzzsprout,
yes, indeed.
all your streaming services.
Yes, indeed. They named the team after Mean Joe Green. So what was the name before he got there?
I have no clue. It's probably some like.
And what's the bird on the helmet? What is that? It's a bird? Is it a phoenix? What is it?
I don't know, but like all I know is UNLV put out a graphic because see, the Mean Green put out the UNLV as a slot machine. Every time they score, well, they put the slot machine like we're going to Vegas, and they put the Texas signs on there, right?
Oh,
the little bird. So UNLV took a thing of. Remember the guy that let the hawk out and he was flying around and the semi came and hit the hawk?
Yeah.
Well, they put their bird logo on top of that and had the bird hit it. It was a UNLV equipment truck.
Okay.
But, shout out to Marcus Arroyo and UNLV. Like one of the things that I got asked a lot because Herm Edwards got fired from ASU, from Arizona State. He got fired walking off the field.
Yeah, I saw that video, man.
Low key, that was...
My man Ethan showed me that video yesterday. Man, that was foul. What was that about?
Well, you figure 1 and 2 start. You figure they already probably get hit with sanctions. Coaches had to leave because they're about to get hit with sanctions.
Yeah, but you got to do it on the field. Like that seems personal to me.
Well, the AD's trying to save his job too.
So that's just for show.
I thought, yeah. Then Herm said that he stepped down, but like, no, you clearly see Herm say, "Okay, I understand. You got to make a decision or something to that effect."
Yeah.
But I've gotten asked repeatedly about Coach Arroyo and ASU. Because if he turns it around, okay, so let me point this out. Jay Keener, the starting quarterback for Fresno State, against USC, hurts his ankle. He heard it pop and had to be carted off. He clearly said on the sideline, "I'm done."
Wow.
So that's 8 to 10 weeks. He's not coming back.
No.
Their starting safety, their best player on defense,
Fresno State,
out. You look at the rest of the San Diego State lost 2 quarterbacks and their backup just transferred on Tuesday. The guy's supposed to be the future. They're Doug Brumfield. The conference is up for grabs. Notre Dame doesn't look like Notre Dame. They look like trash. That from a game that should be an L, maybe a game that's competitive, winnable.
Ooh.
If UNLV
cart me off the field, they win that one, boy.
Man, if UNLV loses a game or 2. He may be mentioned for some gigs, or he may get an extension.
Hey.
So, but someone asked if he would be a guy that potentially can be a head coach at ASU. I talked to people over there, and he's not on the list that they have, but you never know.
Boy, I don't know, man. Hey, I'm not. Maybe you can call me a homer, but I can't think for the next person. I just think you got a good thing going here.
I do too.
Really. I think that this is a more attractive job than ASU right now. To be honest.
Do too.
This is it's where it's at.
he's doing his thing, man. And
this is where it's at right now, man.
Coach Arroyo, and he I think he loves it here. I know he loves it here, and I think that he would love to build this thing, continue to build this thing. So I don't think it happens.
It's kind of like, man, you kind of at the. We talked about this before. Got to handicap this a little bit because of COVID, and then the transfer portal situation turning upside down. Like you just starting to see the fruits of your labor. right?
And it's a year early.
Yeah, and it's like it's the backdrop here. Whole lot better than Tempe, man.
It's a whole lot better than most places.
Whole lot better than most places, exactly. So I mean, I think this is a work in progress. I don't think the city should be worrying. Maybe if this looks too good by the end of the season, then we might need to worry about.
You need to sign him to an extension.
We might need to be worried about some even bigger pastures than ASU. But I would feel like, hey, I started this. This looks good. This is gonna, success here is gonna raise the cachet of this school on the horizon of just places to go for recruits. So I mean, man, stay here and become Nick Saban, bro.
Oh, I got some news.
Nick Saban in Las Vegas.
I got some news I can't release yet. It'll be.
Well, what you bring it up for?
Because I was going to say, Mark, timestamp this date, 45 minutes into this show, that there's some news that I have that'll come out in December. Can't say what it is, though.
That's a nice waste of 15 seconds.
Hey, well, you know what? Speaking of wasted, it's time to get wasted. We're off to the Aces parade. The franchise will be there. And be on the lookout. What we got coming out a little bit after the parade ends.
Oh, yeah. We got a nice little message that Trish put together.
For the Aces.
For the world champion Las Vegas Aces. Man, we got to run this. You know what I'm saying? Like the last time we had a championship, Los Angeles, COVID year, we didn't go. We didn't get a chance to go. We didn't get a parade.
We didn't get wasted.
Everybody been clowning us, trying to say that neither one of those championships are real.
They real.
Right? And the Rams with their classless selves didn't even invite the Dodgers and the Lakers to ride on the bus with them for their championship, which is just bad taste all the way around. We ain't gonna act like that.
Nope.
No, we're going to go out here. We're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate for the city of Vegas.
Celebrate with the people.
For the WNBA, because it's on the up and up. Basketball is changing on the women's side. Everybody who hasn't given it a chance, if you love basketball, watch the Las Vegas Aces going forward. They're at the beginning of a dynasty, and it's going to change this sport. I'm telling you.
I agree. No disagreement there. But that's it for us today. Congratulations once again to the WNBA World Champion Las Vegas Aces. Time to head to your parade/rally.
It's going down, man. Vodka.
Show's directed by Trisha Lacoste.
Vodka.
Shout out to everybody that took pictures. TQ, Q,
hey,
Quincy Hatcher. Holla at you next week. Original